Welcome, guys, to the second episode of the Football Researcher podcast. Today, I am going to pick 5 NFL teams, and I'm going to talk about how they can be better in 2021. So, let's get right into it with our first team, the Cincinnati Bengals. So we're going to talk about the offense of the Bengals first. So the offense was, I think the Bengals need to work on their offensive line because the offensive line did not protect Joe Burrow. They did not protect him. That's why he got hurt his first year. I think Joe Burrow can be good. I really hope he's not injury prone. And I think they need to get better wide receivers. I think they have AJ Green. I think AJ Green is not going to be as much of a factor. He wasn't as much of a factor. He didn't do very good in 2020. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded or cut. I think there's a couple teams that could use AJ Green, but I think that they have Tyler Boyd. They have I don't know their tight end, but they have Tyler Boyd. They have all the other players. They have all Tyler Boyd. I don't know who their tight end is, but I think they need to work on their wide receiver position because Tyler Boyd is basically the only one I know. Some of you Bengals fans probably know what wide receivers they have. But yeah, Tyler Boyd is basically the only one I know, and AJ Green obviously. But Joe Burrow, the offensive line, they need to protect Joe Burrow. And the running back position, I think Joe Mixon is, I don't know, he's not too overrated, he's not too underrated. I think he might be a little underrated, to be completely honest. But I don't think he's, insanely good or anything. I think he's okay. I think he can do very good. I think he can do very good on a team that's better. So, yeah, now we're going to talk about the defensive side of the ball for Cincinnati. So the defensive side of the ball, I think they have good, cornerbacks, strong safeties. They have some good players. Their defensive line is not terrible. They're not great. The defensive line, I think they need to focus on their offense more than their defense, to be completely honest. I think their defense is pretty good. All those players in the defense, on the defensive line, they could be better if they are on a better team. I don't particularly know who the coach is, but I think that whoever is the coach, I think they should focus their draft picks more on the offense and not as much on the defense. So yeah, that's all I got to say about the Bengals. Now we're going to talk about the second team. We're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas Cowboys is a very good team. Well, they aren't great, but I don't know. We're going to talk about the offense first. I don't know if Dak Prescott I don't know if he's actually going to be back from his injury this year, or he may be back in the first, I don't know. He may not be back. I've heard that it might be worse than they thought. But he may come back, later in the season. But I think Andy Dalton is, the best quarterback you can have for a backup. Ezekiel Elliott did not do good. He had 6 or 8 fumbles. I think it's 6. But he did not do good in 2020. So I don't know. I don't think he'll I think he'll maybe get more touchdowns. I think the fumbles are going to keep happening. I think fumbles are definitely going to keep happening. And the wide receiver position, they are stacked. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. Tight end, they got Dalton Schultz. I don't know if his first name's Dalton, but it's Schultz or someone. I think it's Dalton Schultz. But I think he's good. Yeah, I think Amari Cooper. I think CeeDee Lamb is better than Amari Cooper, to be completely honest. I think CeeDee Lamb is very good. I think he is very good. Yeah, the running back position, Tony Pollard is going to get more touches, I think. And yeah, Andy Dalton is a good quarterback to be a backup. Like, that's probably the best quarterback you can have to be a backup. So now we're gonna talk about the defensive side of the ball for the Cowboys. So the defensive side of the ball, they got some good strong safeties, good cornerbacks, good safeties. Their defensive line is good. They got some good pass rushers. Actually, I think they do need to focus more towards their safeties. Not great safeties. I don't know their names. I was watching them, and they didn't play great. The safeties, the cornerbacks, and strong safeties are pretty good. But yeah, I think that they need to focus on the safeties, and they need to focus on getting a new running back, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they got, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one, like Aaron Jones. I wouldn't be surprised if they got Aaron Jones and Ezekiel Elliott went to Green Bay, to be completely honest. I'm not totally sure about that. I'm just spitballing. But I think that might be a good trade. Like, get, I don't know, Melvin Gordon, Peyton Lindsey, Broncos, I don't know. But yeah, so the defensive line is great. They shouldn't touch the defensive line. Dak Prescott, I don't know if Dak Prescott's going to be back. So that's the only thing with Dallas. I don't know if he's going to be back. So now we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions. So the Detroit Lions just gave away Matt Stafford to the Rams, and they got Jared Goff. I think that was not a good move. I think they should have gotten a better quarterback. I don't think Jared Goff is all that great. I think he's not overrated now, but when he was in the Super Bowl, I think he was definitely overrated. Like Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson, guys like that. But so offensive side of the ball, Jared Goff, they have Kenny Golladay, they have Marvin Jones. I wouldn't be surprised if Marvin Jones went somewhere else, but I think Kenny Golladay is going to stay there. Kenny Golladay is going to stay there. Their running back position, Kerryon Johnson, I think he's going to be gone. DeAndre Swift is actually pretty underrated. I think DeAndre Swift is pretty underrated. So, yeah, I think he's really good. I think they got TJ Hawkinson. I don't think that was the best move in tight end position. Go and grab TJ Hawkinson. I think they should have got a better tight end, maybe like, I don't know. I don't remember if they were trying to go for Gronk. I don't think they were, but I think he would actually be. I don't think Gronk would want to be in Detroit, but like, you know, TJ Hawkinson I don't think is that great. So, yeah, now we're going to talk about the offensive line. The offensive line, they need to protect Jared Goff. Yeah, they need to protect Jared Goff. The offensive line they need more just elite players on the offensive line. They didn't protect Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was getting injured a lot. Yeah, now we're going to talk about the defensive side of the ball for Detroit. This the defensive side of the ball, they need to work a lot on. That's their, like, in the draft, that is going to be their, like, that's usually where they go, is the defensive side of the ball for the drafts. I know they picked up T.J. Hawkinson, was the ninth pick, I think. 9th pick in the draft. They picked up an offensive player in the first round, but I think that I don't know, their safeties, they need to work on cornerbacks, strong safeties. They need to work on all of that. But their defensive line, that's what they're going to need to work on most, is their offensive line and their defensive line. That's what they're going to need to work the most on, I think. I think if I were to choose the offensive line or the defensive line, which one's better, I would have to say the defensive line. Just the offensive line is terrible. I'm just going to say that right now. They need to work on the offensive line. But the defensive line, they're also going to need to work on that. The pass rushers, not great. The whole defensive side of the ball is not great. They, yeah, I forgot. Their record might have been like 6. I think it was like 6-10. Their record for 2020. But I think they actually will do better in 2021. I think the Lions will do better in 2021. So, yeah, I think the Lions will do better in 2021. But they just need to work on their defense. That's how the Lions can be better in 2021. They've got I think they have a good quarterback. He's not like a Super Bowl. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Or, I don't know if they're a playoff contender yet. They're definitely not a Super Bowl contender. I don't know if they're a playoff contender yet. But they might be. You never know. So now we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They get the number 1 pick in the draft. And we're going to talk about the offensive side as well first. But, first of all, I would not pick up Trevor Lawrence. I would pick up someone else. I like that, I forgot his name, but I do like that, the backup for Gardner Minshew. I actually kind of like that guy. It's definitely not their long-term quarterback, but until they can get, like, their wide receiver core back, like, to being better. Until they can get that, like, better, I think they should stay with that guy. I don't know who should be like the second pick. Who is the second pick? I just know Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I just know Trevor Lawrence. But so I think they need to work on their running back position. I know the running back's name. I forgot his name. I know the running back. I just forgot his name. DJ Chark was very injury prone. Last year in 2020, he was very injury prone. He didn't play much, and when he did play, he was not that good. He was good last year, 2 years ago, but not in 2020. He really fell off. Keelan Cole, I don't know if that guy's still on the team. I think he is. But I think he's pretty good. I think he's kind of underrated. So I think running back position, that's bugging me. I don't know. I forgot who the running back was. Not Leonard Fournette. He plays for the Bucs now. I forgot who that was. Their O-line, they need to protect them. All these teams have a very much weak point. Have a weak point in the defensive line and the offensive line. But so yeah. So I think the tight end position, Tyler Eifert, I think is the tight end. I think he's pretty good. I think he wasn't really a factor in 2020, but I think he could be a factor in 2021 for the Jags. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the offensive position. I'm just trying to figure out what that running back's name is. But Yeah, that's all I have to say about the offense. Now we're going to talk about the defense. The defensive line, I think out of all the teams we're talking about, you don't know the last team we're going to talk about, but out of all the teams, they're the best defensive line. They have the best defensive line. And then the Lions probably. But they need to work on their strong safeties, cornerbacks, pass rushers. They need to work on that kind of side. I'm not saying they have a great defensive line. I'm just saying they're probably the best out of all the teams we're going to talk about. But yeah, they need to work on the strong safeties, the cornerbacks, because they gave up a lot of points last year. I forgot. They might have did they go 2-14 or I forgot if they went 2-14 or 1-15. You should I forgot, so tell me in the comments because I forgot. But yeah, I think they need to work on that. I think that's where they're gonna go with most of their draft picks. I wouldn't pick up Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he's that good. And all the quarterbacks that go in the first pick, besides Joe Burrow, Mayfield, they're just not good. I take that back. I think Kyler Murray is good. I think he's better than Mayfield. And I don't know. He may be better than Joe Burrow. I haven't seen Joe Burrow play much because I don't know. I think he got hurt week 8 or week 9. But yeah. So the final team we're going to talk about today is the New York Jets. Now this team, some people can call this a football team, but so the New York Jets, the offensive side of the ball. Who's their quarterback? Joe Flacco? I don't know. Sam Darnold. Yeah. I knew it was Sam Darnold, but I didn't see him play that much, so I kept forgetting his name. Joe Flacco played, I think, at some point in the season. I forgot when. I think he played he played week 8 or something. But running back position, quarterback position first. They need to work on that. I don't know. Do they get the second pick? I'm not fly. If they get I don't know if they get the second pick, but they might get the second pick. I think they do get the second pick. They definitely, I know most of you guys would agree with me here, but they definitely did not do themselves any favors in the last couple games of the year. They really messed up that first round draft pick. They could have gone. I think they definitely should have gone for Trevor Lawrence. But I think they still may have a chance to get Trevor Lawrence if the Jags don't pick him up. But I don't see a way that they won't, to be honest. I'm just saying that I wouldn't pick Trevor Lawrence up. But running back position, forgot this guy's name too. I know who it is, but I just forgot this name. Forgot the name. That bugs me. But wide receiver position, running back position, whoever that guy's name is, I remember watching him. Not very good. Need to work on that. Wide receiver position, need to work on the wide receiver position. I don't even know the wide receivers. Who are the wide receivers? I think the wide receivers are I really don't know. But I did watch the wide receivers, and definitely need to work on that position. They need to work on tight end position. I know the tight end too. I just forgot it. Tight end. I know the guy's name, and he's not very good. But actually, I think it was a bad move to give away Robbie Anderson in the offseason of last year. But they gave away him to the Panthers. Some of you may know that. But I think they need Dan Arnold. Dan Arnold is I think that's the Jets tight end. I think he's actually good. I think he's better than the wide receivers, to be completely honest. He catches it more than the wide receivers. But, yeah, now we're going to talk about the defensive side of the ball for the Jets. No, offensive line. Offensive line. Keep forgetting about that. Offensive line, they need to work on it. Definitely need to work on it. They couldn't protect whoever was playing quarterback, Sam Darnold or Joe Flacco. They couldn't protect them. Kind of like Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's that bad. It was that bad. But, you know what I'm saying. And then, yeah, the defensive side of the ball, they need to work on basically everything. The defensive line, to stay safeties, pass rushers, cornerbacks, strong safeties. They need to work on everything on the defensive side of the ball. And that's basically all I'm going to say for the Jets defense. So, yeah. So, that is going to be the end of the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the second episode of the Football Research Podcast. I hope you guys agree with me. And our next video, I am going to tell you who to pick up in fantasy football this year, or this upcoming year in 2021. I'm going to tell you who to pick up in fantasy football in 2021. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And, yeah, I hope you guys agree with me. See ya.